I had heard the whole, like, the Stink EP, you know, and when I just heard that, you know, the whole Kids Don't Follow It, this is the Minneapolis Police Department, you know, and I heard that and I was like, what is this? It was just, it felt Martian to me, that sort of like, just wildly raw, sort of unbridled sort of thing that they do, but it was just, but there was this like, incredible level of songwriting, you know, it tucked inside of all of that, where like, you know, I came up on like punk records, like being from like New England, it was just like, there's a big like skateboard culture and surf culture there, so it was like, I got turned on to like punk very, very early, like Flipper and DOA and Circle Jerks and like all that stuff that I love so much. For me, like the Mats, when I first heard them, they had that sort of sweet fury to them, but it just was like, you could hear something in Westerberg that was like, it had that charge to it, but it also had that, like an evolution to it that maybe records I was listening to at the time didn't have, you know, they were like, you just knew Westerberg was sort of a special kind of songwriter. I guess maybe I didn't know it at the time, but I felt it at the time that could be a thing, you know. They played Philadelphia on the reunion tour, and we were in Europe when that happened, and it literally missed by like 2 days. It was like completely heartbreaking because we were trying to like get on that thing. It was just like, look, we'll carry gear, we don't need a dime. We just like what can we? We'll clean up afterwards, you know. We'll clean up the grounds, you know, and then it just turned out like we weren't there. We were gone on tour, so huge bummer for sure. I think the thing that we probably borrow from the Replacements the most is sort of that the spirit of it all. You know, we don't take the thing overly serious. You know the legacy, right? It's kind of like you didn't know if they were going to play like theme songs from like 1970s sitcoms, or they were going to come out and be the best band in the world, or they were just going to do country songs just to like piss people off. It was like there's something so nice in the danger and unpredictability of that, you know, that I think no kind of frills rock and roll, sort of the approach to things like plug in, turn up, bleed it out, you know, like I want to think that's what we do. We just did, before we split for this tour, the last show we played on the last tour was in Brooklyn, and we covered Pleased to Meet Me, like front to back, you know, all that unbridledness of say like IOU or Shootin' Dirty Pool or something like that, like just all that boozy, sort of bluesy fueled kind of rock, but then like he can turn around and write something like Skyway, and it just shows that range as a songwriter where it was like, okay, like that thing I felt when I was a kid, sort of, yeah, on that record, inside of all that other brilliant stuff. I mean, to me, there are like 11 perfect songs, literally, to me, you know. But there's something about that one that just shows, I don't know, that weird range I sort of hoped for when I was first getting turned on to them, you know.